Hello, beautiful ones. This is Dr. Reverend Janine. I'm just popping on to give you some information and let you know that JanineMarie.com is actually live right now. It's been going through some technical issues, but if you put in JanineMarie.com, you should get right to my website. You'll also notice that it's gone through some transformation. I've changed something regarding my focus, and you will notice that it's on anxiety and depression. And before you start to say, well, what you focus on, you're going to make bigger. Yes, that's absolutely true. I am choosing that particular focus because it's something I struggled with all of my life. And especially right now that I'm going through grief issues, it's become even a bigger issue for me to deal with. So the first thing I want to just suggest, because I spent a good portion of my life fighting against anxiety and depression for various reasons, whatever you fight and focus on, yes, it's very true. You're going to make bigger, and you're going to make it a bigger opponent. Remember, if you look at the story of David and Goliath in the Bible, Goliath was a huge giant and David knocked it out with just a small stone. You only need a small amount of something that's positive and wonderful and transformational to actually knock out a giant. So that's one thing I'd like to feed into you right now. There are some other things that I have that are cooking that I'm putting together in the way of programs that I can use to assist you. I use these things for myself. It's how I survive. I have faith, obviously, because that has been instilled into me for most of my life. And so I'm very, very grateful for that. Remember, whatever you're grateful for, you're going to bring more gratitude or more things that you can be grateful for into your life. So the first thing I want to sow into you right now is this, and this is the big one. This is the stone that knocks out part of the Goliath, or at least some of it. You know, maybe you can get most of your Goliath out of the way with this one stone. What I did, my very first thing that I did when I realized that my struggle was just making me focus on anxiety and depression and my grief even more. The thing is I had to not make it an opponent, but make friends with it. And I know that that sounds very counterproductive. I know that sounds ridiculous, but I introduced my anxiety, my depression, and my grief to myself. And that is a big one. I might be a little stone, but my higher self is a lot bigger. It packs a big punch, and it takes away a lot of the things that really come into life to kind of bring you down. You know, if you look at life, it's almost like we are meant to struggle or fight against one thing or another. And I have learned over time in dealing with clients and friends and family members that anxiety, depression, and then even grief issues are some of, the biggest issues to deal with in life. It is a huge one. It is massively out there. It's why so many pharmaceutical companies are creating new and more effective drugs to help change the neural pathways of the brain, to help keep serotonin and dopamine and some of those great neurotransmitters into the pathways of your brain in the synaptic gap. I know this is getting kind of technical, but between the neurons in your brain, that just means that it's holding those good things a little bit longer, and that's what those medications do for you. If you're on those medications, don't just go off of them because of what you might hear. You need some advice from a medical professional and someone who really, really understands your situation and also understands where you're coming from. If you are a deep spiritual believer, if you're a spiritualist like me, if you believe in metaphysics, sometimes you have to train and teach your doctor, you know? But before you do that, train and teach yourself. Number one, step one, make friends, introduce yourself to your anxiety, your depression, and maybe even your grief. And that is your first step to take today in getting better and being transformational and changing your life. Give yourself the gift of life every single day. I'd like to give you some of the tools that I use and some of the things that help keep me going. So if you go on to my website, you can find more about that at JanineMarie.com. I've installed a chat box. You can put your information in there. You can leave me a message, and you can even chat with me if I'm online. It is encrypted, and so you're safe to chat with me, and we could talk about some of the solutions for some of the things that you're going through. So anyway, I hope you're having a wonderful rest of the day. I hope that your day is going to be fantastic. Make it that way. Make friends with your day and tell it the way it's going to be. Put it out there. My day is fantastic. Smile, because when you use the muscles in your face, believe it or not, those muscles trigger good feelings inside of your body. When you're smiling, you can't feel down. So smile as much as you can and as often as you can. And if it's possible, get a hold of a friend that makes you laugh, because laughter is good medicine. And until the next time, God bless you. Have a wonderful rest of the day. And I am so loving you from here. Bye-bye.